How are those weights, Pushko?
Done. Full set. It's on the bench. Bit of a fiddly job, especially sorting out all those calculations. It's a good thing I could cast it here. You'd have paid through the nose at Eldris's. Now you've got the weights, I reckon the repair's almost done.
Yeah, not quite. I'm still missing the most important bit. The actual mechanism. I'll have to ask how they used to do it.
Well, at least you've got someone to ask. Stander will be glad to help you, won't he?
You're right about that. So where exactly are you from, Pushko?
Well, it's honestly a boring story. I came to Kuttenberg from Loshani, just outside Colleen. Ever since I was little, I liked chucking stuff in the fire and watching what happened. Wires, nails, bits of iron. Everything would melt and take a new shape. And you can give that molten metal a shape if you've got a mould. Isn't that brilliant?
Well, I suppose I get it.
My pa was a merchant, so he had friends and the means to send me to Eldris in Kuttenberg to learn the trade. I'll be grateful to him till the end of my days. Although, who wants to cast spells when you could be pouring something far better? Something much more dangerous.
Greetings, Sonny.
I had the weights cast based on your sketches.
I noticed. Great work. You really are a man of action. Just like your pa. I'm sure you'll see it through to the end. Only the last step is always the hardest. Especially in this case.
What's the last step?
To put the clock together, in short. Only you can't do it alone. Back in the old days, at least we could get a good look at the clock. But I've heard since those Italians got involved, there's not much to look at. You made everything you could based on our old sketches, but you're still going to need someone who's seen the original machine.
I know someone like that. One of the Italians stayed in Kuttenberg. Not voluntarily, but still. I spoke with him, and he said he remembers everything. The plans are in his head. And he said he'll help me.
But you're still going to need someone who can put the clock back together.
That's what the Italian said, too.
Someone handy, who's seen and touched the clock from the inside. Someone... who also happens to be the crookedest bastard far and wide.
You have someone in mind, don't you?
Aye. His name is Wolf.
Who's Wolf?
You remember how I mentioned we had a goldsmith's apprentice helping out with the fine machinery?
The one that stole the heart of the clock from you?
That's the one. It might have been his first crooked deed, but it definitely wasn't the last. Before I left Kuttenberg, I heard he started getting involved in all sorts of thieving and scamming. They say he can open any chest, pick even the hardest locks. He worked for anyone who had the coin, and if he wasn't happy with how much he got for the job, he'd fuck them over without a second thought.
Is he even still alive? I wouldn't be surprised if someone took revenge on him.
I couldn't tell you, but fuckers like him tend to be lucky. I reckon he's doing just fine for himself. Living in some big house, pretending to be a lord.
Do we really need this Wolf fella? You said he was a cheat.
I'm afraid he's the only person who really knows the clock, and is handy enough to fix it.
And what if someone else learned how? Someone more reliable?
It would take much longer than convincing Wolf to work with us. You're just gonna have to risk it with him, Henry.
What does Wolf look like?
I haven't seen him in 20 years, so I don't know. But back then, he had bright ginger hair. Not a little ginger, like fire. Who knows? He could be bald these days. And from what I remember, he didn't exactly talk like one of ours. I think he was from Moravia.
Where can I find him?
You'll have to look for him. But I reckon people connected to shady dealings around here might know. Maybe someone from the Hole? He used to be there all the time, day and night. But I reckon these days it might not be noble enough for him.
I'll go and find Wolf then.
Best of luck.